Ford Bronco 2023 changes, huge changes to the 2023 Ford Bronco that are unseen, and also some changes that definitely need to be made for 2024. Maybe we should have waited for 2024 Ford Broncos. August 14th, we're going to know exactly what those are, but guess what?
Yeah, you're afraid to know it because you said if it's hybrid in the option, I will be sad to just taking a Bronco now.
But if there is, I bet it's going to be a late arrival, and I bet it'll start arriving somewhere between midsummer to as late as October 2024. So who knows if Bronco values stay high, because there's still, even in Canada, there's still dealerships that want 10,000 more. You know, I'm not going to go looking for the photos, but they're in here. There's dealerships. I've got proof. They're wanting $93,000 for an $83,000 Wildtrak. Most of the 2022 used Broncos are being advertised at current 2023 MSRP. So they're asking more, 10, 20, 25, 30. Oh, I deleted that photo. 36,000 kilometer Wildtrak, the dealership. It's a 23 though. It was one of the best prices on the internet. He's asking 73. But it's got 36,500 kilometers on it, and the dealership's asking only 10,000 less, and it's the best priced Wildtrak in Quebec, because most of them start at 83 and go all the way to about 93. So some major changes that do you want to cover major changes that need to occur, or the changes you've seen? How about we start chronologically? So chronologically, Marie, so when I learn French, I teach her English, she teaches me French. So chronologically means we're starting in the order based, by number. Mm-hmm. So why don't you talk about the changes you've noticed from 2021 Ford Bronco, which we had 2 each one, versus the 2023 that we've got now?
Oh my, that's a good question. I don't know if I will be able to respond to that.
Think about it, and I'll tell you, the reason we got the Wildtrak is we wanted that Haas 3.0 suspension. The Fox suspension on it is incredible. We do notice a difference versus the Badlands that we had set up just like this, and that which has Sasquatch Haas 2.0. We also had the Outerbanks Sasquatch package with, bigger tires, and that still did not absorb the bumps as well as this new 23 Wildtrak with the Haas 3.0. And of course, you're getting a baby, I wouldn't even say a baby Raptor. You're getting little brother Raptor, or little brother Raptor, or a Raptor, baby Raptor. You are getting a baby Raptor, a very powerful baby. Because with the Wildtrak, you've got that Haas 3.0 suspension with the Fox shocks with the external bypass so that the liquid can go off into another tube and then come back in when it's nice and cool. So you can just keep pounding on it, keep taking those jumps and not have the shocks get too hot and worn out and start bottoming out. It's also made a great shock for holding when you get in the air to make sure that your wheel doesn't slam down, and also so that when you land, it doesn't slam into the top of the shock mount. So fantastic suspension. You're getting tie rods from the Raptor, and you're getting that steering wheel rack from the Raptor. So a great question that was asked just this week on the channel. See if I can get the comment, because I want to give credit to this excellent question. Ryan C3656 asked, question, what is more expensive, upgrading a Badlands to have the Haas 3.0 or upgrading the Wildtrak to have a stay bar disconnect? Basically, just curious if you could mesh the 2 Broncos aftermarket. What would be the best Bronco to start with? Well, if you get the Badlands, which we've been looking at here for a little bit here, if you get this beautiful Badlands, well, you're going to save 10 grand. But here's the thing. You'd have to buy tires. You'd have to buy mags if you're not a fan of these. Marie loves them. It's her favorites. But if you're not a fan of these, you'd have to buy mags.
And you said you will need, because there's bigger tire, you will need to lift the suspension a little bit?
Thank you. You're going to need to lift the front. Then you've got the steering wheel the steering rack. You've got the tie rods. Tie rods aren't too expensive.
So
steering racks a little bit expensive. I think if I recall, it's about $1,200 roughly. And you still don't have the Fox shocks. And the Fox shocks are going to run you parts and installation. You're going to easily spend $6,000 on those Fox shocks and installation. So it's not good, because your resale is going to be the resale of a modified Badlands. So basically the price everyone else is asking, you might be able to ask slightly more. So if you trade it in, you're going to lose out big time. I've always wondered why people put $20,000, $30,000 into their Jeeps. If you're keeping it a lifetime, fine. But if you're going to switch it, you're going to lose out. So you have to spend money or time taking all the parts off your, Jeep or Bronco that you've super modified to keep the parts for your next one. But then by then the parts have maybe gone out of style, have maybe worn a little too much. So I would definitely recommend getting the Wildtrak. Why? Because I've got the photos here. I've done the research. I think I have to, here, let's check this out. That might have been on the other phone. One idea, great performance upgrade for the Bronco. I want to do a whole show on this, top 10 Bronco upgrades, but a lot of people are going with these performance calibrations. Now the Ford performance calibration done at certain Ford dealers, that dealer will continue to guarantee the motor. At other dealers, they will not. And if that's the case, because they have to do the warranty work through Ford Performance, not Ford themselves. So you need to check with the dealer to make sure they will take care of you and work to make sure you get your warranty on your motor. But the Ford Performance chip is the most expensive, but it's warranted work. It also doesn't create the most power. So the power on it was just a wee bit low at 433 pound-feet of torque added to the 2.7 liter and 355 horsepower. So I've declared it for myself and my level of thriftiness, sensibility, for a little bit extra horsepower and a little bit of torque. I'm not spending it. I'll go put my foot down on the Ford Lightning, which will ruin tires in record amounts of time. But to the tie rod question, you're looking at retail price $295, sale price $195. That's what they're going to look like. So you can just add, this is for the Wildtrak for your stabilizer bar disconnect. Really inexpensive to get it if you go with a manual stabilizer bar disconnect. Dirt cheap, folks. Other than labor, the parts cost next to nothing. At $195, that's Johnny approved. I definitely get the Wildtrak. Have the better resale price, Ryan. So if you're thinking Badlands, modifying it up, well, you could say, well, what about a Badlands and I just Sasquatch it? Well, then you're basically at the price of the Wildtrak anyway. So at that point, pick the model that you prefer the style of, because getting manual stabilizer bar disconnect, which honestly, you're not going to disconnect that stabilizer bar every single day. And if you are, just get a Badlands. But, you're going to disconnect it, 1 to 20 times per year. Sorry, we kind of we can't go rock crawling very often because, there's just snow all the time. You don't want to be crawling on snowy, icy rocks that you can just slide off, because once you're on a rock, the worst thing that can happen is your tire quickly slides off and then grips, because that will cause a shift. And even if you're not even at that crazy of an angle, you'll roll it. Speaking of crazy angles, at the Porsche Road Show, fantastic, thank you Porsche, wonderful Porsche Road Show, Marie holds the track record for getting the wildest angle. Was it 36 or 38%?
No, 32. It wasn't that much.
Oh, no, it was 36. It maxes out at 45. Physics take over no matter what you're rolling, but you're at 36 or 38%.
I know we have a picture of it because the guy said I was the...
He's so impressed. He came over and he's like, hey, do you want a picture? Because you have the record. We haven't, on this course, we've never seen someone, at least...
fun.
And he does Porsche and he does other brands, but... It was, I don't know if the course itself, maybe someone in an old Jeep Wrangler worth $2,000 took it beyond that. But this was in a brand new Porsche Cayenne at, I don't know, $150,000. It was like the Turbo S model. It was pretty wild.
It helped me that we did the off-roading with the Bronco before, so I was more... I wasn't shy to try it, but I was shy when we needed to drag a 911. But
you had
with the angle with the Cayenne, I was like, okay, I know that we had a Bronco.
You probably had the worst drag.
Worst ever
that the track has ever seen from any make or manufacturer. A Honda Civic would have done it much faster, but you do have the track record for going on a crazy angle, 36 or 38%. I'll need to go back in the photos to confirm.
I was looking like an old lady on the drag.
So 2023 Ford Bronco, really to wrap this right up, what we can say, the seat belts, they still, in the wind, hit against the plastic. So Ford, you need to either have a little section of those inner pillars here, just put a little section. It's as easy as, and of course I could do it myself, but when I buy a new vehicle for $83,000 minus rebate, I don't want to. So just slap a little piece of, fabric or absorbent material there, or the buckle of the seatbelt. Have some sort of soft touch to it. But really those pillars, you just throw in some soft touch. So it's not plastic on plastic dangling in the wind. And of course it should be dangling. Things need to dangle in the wind. We don't buy Broncos to not take the top off. So Ford really needs to work on that. Also, if they can somehow, I'd love to see, I'm tired of stickers. Marie loves this sticker. Marie, how much do you like this sticker?
Really, really, really much. Because you had the stickers on the first Bronco that we had. It was blue and the stickers was orange and and gray. And I like to call it a Christmas tree. But this one is not a Christmas tree that passed the test because it's black. We don't see it that much. It's
$500, and here you were. I spent $500, and here she is ripping off the stickers off the Bronco. As soon as it became her Bronco, the blue Bronco became her Bronco. She inherited it, and here she is ripping off the stickers that I spent with installation. I don't know if maybe they're only $400, but you're just ripping them off, thrilled, big smile, and it must have affected me. Having that money go away after only 2 months had to affect me because I don't have the photos anymore. It's gone, even from Google.
No, but you were hesitating to. You said, "Oh, maybe I will remove it. It's not that beautiful." So yeah, you tell me I could do it if I wanted.
I wanted you to be happy. So,
but this sticker, I really love it.
I'd love to see them painted though. I'd love to see the Mustang. The Mustang at the price the Mustangs have gotten, those when you go stripes, they need to be painted on. Whole higher level of quality. And I'd love to see this painted on, but of course with the option to not have it all together. The suspension does not need work in any way for the 2024. The suspension is incredible. It was incredible. It was excellent on the Badlands. It was excellent on the Outerbanks Sasquatch 2021. But on this Wildtrak with the Fox shocks, it's unbelievable. I didn't think something could be much more comfortable than the Lightning. Mind you, we took out the Porsche Taycan. It was the Porsche Taycan? The four-door electric Porsche.
Yeah,
Porsche Taycan. So we went out for a ride. We did some bad roads, good roads. And howdy Tim. Tim Bart's Ford video guy. Check him out. Fantastic guy, fantastic channel, best information you'll get on Fords on the internet, period. Not just YouTube. Best information you'll get on Fords across the internet. Check him out if you haven't already done so. We were out in the Porsche Taycan, and I was like, is this more comfortable than the Lightning? And, of course, the Lightning weighs a lot more. It's a truck. It's so much more useful. But we're having a lot of trouble. I don't think we were ever able to resolve that. Did we ever resolve which one was comfortable? The Taycan Turbo S that was like what, maybe $230,000 Canadian new versus what was then $110,000 Lightning, which is now $101,000 Lightning in Canada. But we couldn't figure out which one is more comfortable.
Yeah, I guess we love both of these ones.
But what we do know is the Bronco Wildtrak is more comfortable than the Lightning. Not only does it have, by far, it has a better turning radius than a Ford Mustang, which is pretty incredible, but it's got an incredible turn radius. But really, the comfort of the suspension is superior than a low $200,000 Porsche. They're in the $200 and some odd $1,000 range. And
I love the comfort of these seats on the Bronco.
Mind you, the Porsche Taycan, sorry, I've been saying Porsche Taycan seats were very, very comfortable. The interior was wonderful. People always, have always seemed to criticize Porsche interiors because, you'll have the dash won't be covered in, the most luxurious leather. But guess what? The seats were incredible. The vehicles were incredible. From the 911 turbo to the Porsche Taycan turbos and just the regular Porsche Taycans, and the Cayenne was impressive too. But when it comes to the Porsche Cayenne, did we try a Macan? Or was it just
no,
Cayenne?
we didn't try it.
Cayenne GTS and the turbo. We prefer this Wildtrak Bronco at half the price. I'm assuming half the price. I haven't shopped Cayenne, so don't take that as money, but Ford could improve by having this painted on because the stickers are hard to keep clean. Now, I've done a ceramic detailer to it, and you can watch my video coming up if you really want to help us out, but in the next week or two, I'll have a video on detailing your new vehicle when you get it. Of course, I'm doing it on this vehicle. And I didn't use the spray ceramic detailer because Danny at Valley Street Ford was really nice. He gave me the ceramic detailer, did the truck, fantastic. Didn't cost me anything extra. He's awesome. He's taught me a lot about detailing. But I went home and did the cream, the liquid. Sorry, not instead of a spray, I did the cream ceramic. And the cream ceramic, well, it can go on the plastic somewhat. But anyways, I streaked my plastics. I can probably get it off with a white eraser. But I did ceramic coat this sticker with both the liquid, which then it was starting to turn a little white. And I actually got it out by using the ceramic spray detailer. I was doing tests on an $83,000 vehicle, apparently because I make good life decisions. Because you're so much better testing ceramic products that could ruin your sticker on your $83,000 Wildtrak Bronco than doing meth. And a lot of people are unfortunately doing meth these days. So I'm still taking the better option.
You always say in your channel that you test stuff so people won't have to break their...
That's right. I break my stuff so you don't have to break your stuff. I'm here to take care of y'all because when I break stuff, I don't know, for some reason, if I'm testing and I feel like I'm testing things for the community, Marie was like, are you sure you can put that there? And I'm like, no, it could streak white, but it's a test I'm doing. And I just feel so comfortable messing my stuff up because if I know I might save, thousands or even tens of thousands of people from the same mistake. So people pretty much don't use any cream ceramic products on stickers, and especially not on plastics. Spray ceramics, so a ceramic detailer you can often use, but read the bottle, read the instructions, but you can often use on stickers and plastic. But I'd love if Ford would paint this. So that'll be its own episode coming out.
Yeah, and Rich, you ask if you are going to wrap the front end like you did with your previous Cactus Bronco.
Great question, Ridgeview. I wanted to, but I can't because this honeycomb grill, the person in our area that's doing wraps, the business I trust the most, is just like, nope. So I could basically nope. He do this area here. So the lights and up to the honeycomb, you won't touch the honeycomb at all. And I could do a lip on the front of the hood.
That's sad because it's a glossy grill, so
yeah.
The scratch will appear easily, I guess.
Now here's a trick for all you new car people. If you're getting a new vehicle, you need to communicate with your dealer if things aren't proper with the vehicle at or before delivery, not once you've taken it home. Because once you've taken it home, they can't claim things anymore. So thankfully, my paperwork wasn't signed on the vehicle. So technically, yes, I took it home, but no regular customer could ever do this. But, anyways, I can take the vehicle home. So I took the vehicle home on Friday. I hadn't handed in my contracts yet, so it's not, declared sold yet with Ford. And I noticed on the hood a spot, and it's actually a spot, something at the factory landed on top of the paint, and it's stuck in the paint. Now, if we take it off, we're going to end up having a hole. So you can claim this stuff. So when you get a new vehicle, if you see something, you need to talk to the dealership. Inspect your vehicle before taking it at home. Even, some dealerships are nicer than others. So I'd say even before signing the contract, go out and spend a good 10, 15 minutes inspecting the vehicle. And then if there's anything, bring it up and make sure that they put in the claim before you sign the papers and before you drive away with the vehicle. I know it's a new vehicle. You're excited. You want it. You'd say it's a new vehicle. It's going to be perfect, but it's not. That's not a Ford thing. It's across the market. You worked at Toyota. Were all the Toyotas always perfect?
That's a good question. I would say, to be honest, that I never checked the cars at the delivery because it was my department. But I knew that they spend a lot of time to do beauty to the cars. Even if it was new, you need to remove the stickers.
And sometimes doing beauty to the car also means that the vehicle comes in and the windshield is already chipped.
Yeah,
or there's a dent in the door because of, transport issues. And on this Bronco, I've never had a perfect Bronco, and this is part of the reason why I often change, but so far these things aren't bothering me. The hood thing kind of is bothering me a lot, but Ford, I put in the claim. It's going to get resolved. Thank you so much, Lily. Thank you. You're blowing me kisses. Love the steel bumper here, but on the back trunk hinge, I guess I got to zoom out if I want to change photos here. So the back hinge, there's our Lightning. By the way, Ford Lightning goes through front tires faster than rear tires if you're heavy on the pedal. And I would say that I've almost in 8,000 kilometers, I've used up a little more than 30% of the tires in the front. The back, I've used up maybe 10%, but the front tires are about 35% of use. Because when you stomp on the pedal real hard on a Lightning, it seems to be a little more front wheel drive than it is rear wheel drive. So a little bit of a problem there when you've got expensive, wonderful BF Goodrich KO2s. Again, BF Goodrich KO2, BF Goodrich. Don't be cheap. Send me free tires. I'm always plugging you guys. I want my free tires. Come on, guys. Help me out here. So Marie kicked me under the table. Not allowed to beg. So other major things, and I've actually just before moving on, so inspect your vehicle, because this back hinge right here, if we all zoom in here, so the back hinge, Marie in a cowboy hat again, I'm abusing the situation here. So
just a little.
This back hinge, if you can see my little cursor or my finger, this back hinge has about 20 spots on it, and at factory, wind or something must have kicked up and put some debris over the paint, and now it's dried into the paint. Of course, if you drive away with the vehicle, you go home, they look like stone chips. Obviously, they're not stone chips back here. I'm not speeding down a dirt road in reverse. I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy. But still, if a few weeks, a month go by and you try to claim it, good luck. You need to do a pre-delivery inspection of your new vehicle. That's not just for Broncos, that's just good advice for everyone, and it's going to save you thousands, because it's the type of thing that would drive me crazy. And I would have spent, eventually, if I kept the vehicle, I would have had to have the hood repainted, or we'll see if they just touch it up or if they repaint it, what they're going to do with it. But the back latch, they're going to just switch, which is great. All right, so Marie was real excited here. Funny face Marie with her funny cowboy hat.
It was the first time we saw the Bronco.
You were excited.
Yeah, I love that color. We always said the next one will be green like that, so I'm happy.
So, yeah, real happy with the color. Real happy with these side steps. The roof, big major change to the Ford Bronco. The roof is so much better. So very much better. And let's see if I can get tonight's photos. If not, I'll just zoom in into these photos, but I specifically took photos tonight. And here, okay, here we go. So even fresh rain here on the hood. The top's purling real nice. You've got this ribbing here, and with the ribbing, the water, I had the top open because it had in between rainstorms. I got to drive home without actual rainstorm. I opened the roof. When I get home, I closed the roof, and I couldn't believe it. When I opened the door, I didn't get soaked getting in before opening the roof. I opened the roof, I drive home. There was a lot more water on the roof than this, and it just went down the piping, over towards the windshield, went off to the side and a bit down the windshield, but it didn't actually go towards the driver. So now there's kind of, you could say, double protection. You've got this piping here to protect you from getting wet, and you've got it down here. So people opening doors and getting completely soaked, that's a thing of the past. This top is a lot better. and
that's
inside.
true.
Now, of course, when you get a high package, they say you're getting extra sound deadening, extra insulation, really. And I've talked to the guys over at service, and the head tech was saying, he actually called me and he's like, Johnny, what's going on? We've got, well, he said, is there a difference between tops at Ford? So I talked about how you could spend a whole bunch of money on your order and get the B-stop top, or you have the standard top. But he's like, specifically, is there a difference in the standard tops? And I said, well, I've definitely noticed between my Wildtrak versus my Badlands, my 2023 Wildtrak top is a lot better. And he confirmed, he's like, okay, great. He was actually confirming me that the Wildtrak had a better top than some of the other 23 Broncos, that it was, it seemed thicker inside. So I'm thinking, I wish Ford would just spell it out easily for us, but I'm definitely thinking that you're getting more sound deadening and insulation out of the high package tops. Now, that goes back to my original point for 2024. I think it'd be great if things were simplified, that lower models, you get a certain top, but then on the higher trim models, whether you go soft top or hard top, that you get a better soft top or you get a better hard top. And Ford spells it out really clearly, Outerbanks, Badlands, Wildtrak, this is what your soft top's going to have. It's going to be thicker. It's going to, look better. Whatever it may be, I'd like to see for 2024 better tops, because Jeep does a great job of that. You get up to a certain level of trim in the Jeep, and then you can, you unleash the capacity, the capability of getting the best top I've ever seen in the automobile market. And that's when you have the hard top appearance, but then the middle zips back electronically. And I say that's the best top, but truly, truly the best top until it breaks is a full hard top that folds back and tucks away, like you have at Mercedes, like you have at BMW. And there's a lot of BMW and Mercedes people that are out there that will say, boy, does it ever cost a fortune when your pump breaks. But worse than that, I've actually locally had this happen. Someone put, I think it was $8,000 or $9,000 into their top because for whatever reason, the metal top did not move back evenly and the top got damaged. $9,000 repair. Pretty wild. So that's why overall I think the best is when you have this side here all in painted metal, like on the Jeep, looking great, and then it's just the middle that moves forward and back. So I expect and certainly hope better tops for the 2024 Ford Broncos. That's people watching episode by episode. Unless they watch both episodes, I guess they won't get the full fleshed out what to expect for 2024 Ford Bronco. We'll have the official news August 14th. That's basically in 2 weeks. John B. Meanstroke says, this green looks great. You can tell the difference between the eruption green and this one. Yeah, I'm really liking this one is looking a little different. It's eruption green and it's looking a little different. I think because of all the ceramic that I've thrown on it. Ceramic detailers, actually on our blue 2018 Mustang, we have photographic proof that the blue actually comes off visually as a whole, different shade of blue. But I think with the ceramic detailers, the gold metallic flake, the bronzed metallic flake comes out more, making this green look more bronze. So yes, it's fantastic. And I think a lot of that is achieved with, here, that was yesterday, right? So this was after we did great. So that was after we did not just a liquid spray ceramic, but also the cream ceramic. So hopefully I'll keep you all updated. Hopefully this keeps the sticker clean. But black stickers, folks, it's kind of sad, but they are really, really hard to keep clean. And once they get dirty, they're really hard to clean. I'm going to need to find special products because these black stickers, I've seen them on Mustangs over the years. It's almost like the dirt kind of just bakes into it. So I'm going to be pretty on top of this. Pretty on top of this one. So Marie, good for you. You now have 2 dogs. So stabilizer bar disconnect, get it manual for the Wildtrak if you feel you're missing it. Now that covers my Bronco news, covers the highs and lows. I'm still annoyed by the seat belts. The sound system is definitely on the 2023 high package. It's definitely better than our Sasquatch 2021 Outerbanks, which was high package. And it is so much better than our 21 Badlands. So we're really happy. We wish this still needs a subwoofer to be really very good. Now I can now actually say it's good. I can play volume 20 and it's good at volume 20. It's loud, it sounds good, but it would sound very good if it had a subwoofer. Ford had listened to us. They had offered us the subwoofer, but with constraints, they've had to take away the subwoofer. But I got a $315 credit for not having a subwoofer. Thank you, Ford. I appreciate it. That's good money. But I'd still prefer the subwoofer because if I buy one, I think I'm going to end up paying I used to wire vehicles myself. So I used to do sound systems myself. I used to build them up, and I've had a couple crazy sound systems that had a decent reputation.
Wants to be back in the days.
And hat backwards. But I've had good sound systems. I've set them up myself, shopped them, installed them myself. But I don't have time for that anymore. I've got a full-time job and this business right here, sharing the good news with you all, doing my best to share pertinent and helpful information. So can't do that. And also I'm fearful that my old method of, popping trims off, I'm afraid I'm going to damage the trim and I'm going to lose respect for myself and you're going to lose respect for yourself. Lily might not even blow kisses to me for a straight hour throughout a live. Thank you, Lily. You're not embarrassing at all. Now, that concludes, I think. Do you have anything to add for the Bronco?
No, that's all.